We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people.
Well, President Trump praising New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani during their meeting at the White House for his election victory. The two men appearing to get along quite well in the Oval Office, despite both of them bashing one another in the past. The president has called the New York's mayor-elect a communist. Mamdani claimed Trump is a fascist. Either way, they were able to meet and unite, at least in this moment. Morton Klein is joining us, the national president of the Zionist Organization of America. Morton, good to see you. Overall, this meeting, it went maybe better or surprising for many that were watching. What went through your mind?
Well, look, I don't think President Trump should have met with a communist, bigot, Jew hater and give him credibility. He certainly hasn't met with the mayors of LA or Chicago, who he condemns publicly as saying they're low IQ people. And it's also quite amazing. President Trump is a guy who punches back when he's criticized very strongly, as we all know. This guy there in public has called him a fascist, says he's undermining democracy, and Trump has not pushed back at all. It seems to me the only explanation I have for this, because I think this meeting should never have occurred, is that he's trying to appease Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and others, where President Trump is trying to make peace deals in the Middle East. And he's hoping that this will be appeasing those countries, since he's saying nice things about a radical, bigoted Muslim who, by the way, has the same views as some of these countries, by lying about Israel committing genocide, by the way. And Trump really should have said about the genocide issue, why are you taking positions on foreign policy? You're a mayor. You should be dealing with the domestic issues, not foreign policy. And if you're going to talk about genocide, since there are more Christians than Muslims in New York, why aren't you condemning the genocide, a massacre of Muslims, of Christians by Muslims in Nigeria, in Somalia, in Sudan, even Egypt? I think he should have brought those sorts of issues up. So it was disappointing to me that this meeting occurred.
I hear you. I hear you on that. And despite the friendly meeting, Mamdani is still doubling down and calling President Trump a fascist. He reaffirmed all of these comments that you brought up, and he did it again yesterday with Meet the Press on NBC. Watch.
Mr. Mayor-elect, just to be very clear, do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
so you do?
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say it today. And I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement, about the politics that has brought us to this moment. Everything that I've said in the past, I continue to believe. And that's the thing that I think is important in our politics.
And so obviously elevated there on the national stage, leading the biggest city in the country and, millions in that area, in the New York City area, and many of them obviously of the Jewish faith. It's the largest Jewish faith-based region that we have, as we know, in New York City. Can you talk to us to that point in having Mamdani as the mayor of the city?
Look, a couple days ago, there were hundreds of radical Muslims and bigots blocking the entrance to a synagogue in New York City, which is against U.S. law. And instead of Mamdani publicly condemning this and saying this is disgraceful, we will never permit such a thing, no, he had his spokesman, not himself, say that Mamdani discourages this tour rally. Discourages? No, we need something much stronger than discourages. And then he condemned the meeting going on in that synagogue as violating international law, which it does not. So he has just simply shown that his hatred toward Jews and Israel, it knows no bounds. And it is very frightening to members of the Jewish religious community. Yeah. I just wish Trump would have pushed back on this Jew hater at his meeting, as he does so many other times when negative things. So he not only says negative things, Mamdani, against Jews, he says against Trump openly and publicly. Why is Trump not pushing back, as he always does? The reason is he wants to appease Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and others who hold similar views to this bigot, and try and get a peace deal in the Middle East. That's the only reason that makes any sense to me.
I heard your point there. And to be fair, the president has obviously pushed back in a number of times on social media posts, and most importantly, in front of the media every time, calls him a communist, et cetera, goes on. And he's not mayor yet. So the pushback, right, can be through rhetoric all you want, but really when it comes down to dollar bills and federal funds, you may see what you're asking for, Morton. Morton Klein joining us today. Thank you so much. Great to see you.